Yesterday, I was listening to Mel Robbins' podcast, and her guest was Barbara Cochran. If you don't know her, she is that amazing millionaire woman from Shark Tank. They were talking about women's approach to success, and it wasn't about capabilities, but they were talking about it in a permission kind of way. I couldn't stop thinking about it because it really just hit this spot in my brain and in my heart, because I see this often in women, in business owners, and I see it in myself. Women who are fully capable, but still playing smaller than they actually want to be. Welcome back to the Family First Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Heather Blank. So I actually just put this idea into ChatGPT. I explained to it what the podcast was about and asked for some title suggestions. And when I saw this title suggestion, it hit. The quiet ways women shrink their goals without realizing it. That was exactly what they were talking about, even though they never really said that. But that's what they meant, and that's often what we do. If you're a man here, sorry, I apologize. This is directed towards women, but it doesn't mean that you might not relate to this in some way. But this is so common in women. So often there's this invisible ceiling, and it's talked about in the world of business and in careers. And it's referred to as an external thing, like women don't get paid as much, all these different things. But more so, we have this invisible ceiling within ourselves. It's an internal thing more than it is an external thing. Sometimes we're not applying to certain things. We're not striving higher. We're not raising our prices. We are not speaking up when we need to. We're not going all in. And often we are looking for a guru or someone else to give us permission to do something. Most women don't hit that invisible ceiling. They install one. Let that sink in. Sometimes we feel like we are undeserving. We shouldn't want more because we don't deserve more. Sometimes it's because we feel that we have to give to everyone else before we can give to ourselves. I know that as a mother, I always think about how something would affect my children before I think about how it would affect me. I want to have a business to show my children that it's okay to reach for your goals. But truthfully, on the inside, I also want to show myself. Oftentimes, as children, we had something that happened to us or was said to us that, or maybe even as we grew, that kind of showed us that there was a place below, and that's where we belonged. Maybe it was we showed how brilliant we were or how capable we were, and we got fired from a job because of it. I actually got fired twice. Once when I was waitressing because I had to keep explaining to my manager how to do a certain thing, and she didn't like that, so she fired me because I knew more than her. And that sends the message that you're not supposed to be smart. You're supposed to stay. Stay where people put you. The second time I got fired from a job, I was actually selling cars. And truthfully, it was not a job that I wanted to do. But I was selling cars, and my boss wasn't that much older than me, or maybe he was actually even slightly younger than me. And I was hired originally in the internet department. I was working with people online, and they decided that I should be moved to the sales floor. And so I actually wasn't that great at the sales part of the business on the sales floor. I was amazing at doing the email setups and setting up all these emails for people to go and creating the graphics and teaching everyone else how to set up their emails to do this and what the email should say. I was amazing at that. And often, my fellow salesmen and sales lady that I worked with would come to me and ask for help with these things. How do I start this email? How should I open the email? What should I say? Don't leave this open-ended. Give them 3 options. Do this. Do you want this or that? Start with this greeting. And my boss was threatened. I was knowledgeable. And I got fired because of it. Again, another person sending me a message that I need to stay in my place where they put me. So we have had these ceilings built for us so much that we start building them for ourselves. Perhaps it's a way of protecting ourselves, or, I don't have an or. I really think it's a way of protecting ourselves. We do not want to let ourselves get hurt or told that we're less than again. So we just don't let ourselves go there. We put that invisible ceiling in place. And often we feel like we have to prove ourselves more than men. And that is a society thing. Because women may not be, but definitely weren't equal. I live in the town that Susan B. Anthony was born in. Susan B. Anthony and other women had to march and do all these things to allow women to vote because the men were higher than us and women, no, we just stayed in the home and had babies and cooked. So we feel that we have to prove ourselves to show everybody that we can do it just like they can. And maybe we can even do it better. So we are always feeling that need to prove. Then often as part of that, we need to prove it first. So sometimes we get stuck in this spot. Okay, so in order to prove it, I need to learn more. I need to do more. I need to be so ready, and I'm not ready yet. When I am ready, I'm going to go for it. But I'm not ready yet. And men, they just assume they can figure it out and they go for it. Women were like, okay, I need to be ready and I need that permission. So we are like, in a sense, we are trying to earn our spot. But really what we need to do is just allow ourselves to have that spot. We don't need to earn it. It's already been earned. We already have the knowledge. We already have the capabilities. We just need to allow ourselves to take that spot that is rightfully ours. And yes, I am getting emotional here. One of the things that really hit me that Barbara Cochran spoke of was guilt in success. And so it was like twofold. She was talking about guilt in success, but she was also talking about the difference between the way men and women act when they achieve success. Men say, I did this. I got here. I climbed the ranks and I am here. And women say, well, I couldn't have done it if it wasn't for everyone else that helped me along the way. And in a way, it's because we actually see the truth that no one gets anywhere they are by themselves. Everything that occurred in your life led you to that moment. The people that were placed in your life led you to that moment. But it's also that feeling of being selfish and having guilt around being selfish if we acknowledge that we ourselves did it. Sometimes it's like, if I grow, if I achieve success, will it take time away from my family? Will I be neglecting my family? Or is that being selfish when I'm trying to achieve something for myself? Shouldn't I be worried about the others in my family? Because I'm a mom. I take care of others. So it's, and a business done right should support your life and not compete with it. But sometimes we get lost in that frame of mind without even really realizing that we're doing it. That we're not willing to be selfish, even though it's not selfishness. But that's like a lot of what I talk about in business is I don't want you to build a business that causes you to take away from family. I want you to build a business that fits your life and creates the life for your family that you want to live. As women, we see way more men in business than we see women. But I am so happy with the shift that I see changing this year and in last year, with more powerful women stepping up, and a lot of those bro marketers and bropreneurs being drowned out a bit by the femalepreneurs, the mompreneurs, by the amazing women that are stepping up and are willing to talk about this. Like Barbara Cochran and Mel Robbins, and there's so many other women out there who are doing amazing. And they're willing to speak up about it. They are willing to stand up and say to us and to everybody else out there that women deserve and do not need to earn a place in business or in their family, in their community, on YouTube, on Instagram. It doesn't matter where you are. You do not need to earn your space. It's already there for you. You already have a spot. You just have to allow yourself to be there. And it's not that you need more confidence in yourself. It's that you need to make the decision to do it. You need to allow it. Like, okay, I got it. I'm going to do it. I don't need your permission. I don't need to hold myself down. Actually, I'm going to let myself soar. And I'm going to encourage all the women around me to do the same. Because when I show women that I can do it, it shows them that they can do it. And that's something I've said in many of my videos, in many of my talks, many of my coaching calls. I give you permission, now give yourself permission. Right? I'm giving you permission not because I think you need it, but because I think you want to hear it. You only need to give yourself permission. Damn, that sounded good. So let me just say, like I said, you don't need more confidence. You need to make the decision, because the confidence is not built first. The confidence comes as you take action, as you build momentum. And actually making the decision is powerful. And when you feel that power, that builds your confidence. And I just want women to believe in themselves. I do not have tattoos, but I always said as a kid growing up that I was going to get a tattoo with the word believe. And someone asked me, what does that mean? I said, it means what you want it to mean. It means believe in yourself, believe in the future, believe in good, believe in humanity, believe in the possibilities, believe your imagination. It means what you want it to believe. It means what you want it to mean. And I want it to mean right now that you need to believe in yourself, that I need to believe in myself. But the belief doesn't come first. The decision to allow yourself to step into who you need to be, that's what comes first. When you start gaining clarity from those decisions, that leads to believing. If you want to get affirmational here or manifestational here, you just need to believe regardless if you believe it or not. You just need to tell yourself you do. And eventually, if you keep telling yourself that you believe you can do it and you're going to allow yourself to do it, then your reality starts to catch up to that belief. And before you know it, you do believe in yourself. You do have the confidence and you do see all these things happening. So your homework for today, because I love to give everyone homework on every podcast. Your homework is to stop quieting yourself and to stop shrinking yourself. Because now you realize that you're doing it and you can stop. You can just choose and make that decision to take away that invisible ceiling that you're placing there. You can choose to not fear what others might think or that others might put that ceiling on you. And you can just decide the ceiling's not there. I believe I can do this. It's not selfish. I don't have to feel guilt. This is what I'm meant to do. I'll see you next week on the Family First Entrepreneur Podcast.